Good news is we have some beautiful protective flow from Lord Jupiter and some luck coming through the sky as well. Whatever substances you ingest through the nose and mouth you shouldn't be doing, you're going to be able to clear that out of your life once and for all. Even like being swindled financially, this is not a good day. Until April the 9th, do not make major money decisions. This is love is hard, money is hard. You may change or increase your social networks, windfalls and pennies from heaven. Plot your world domination, forward motion, opening, expansion, and growth of a long-term love relationship.
Lunatic astrology.
Virgo, sun, moon, and rising. Total blood moon eclipse in your sign coming up March of 2026 is by far the most important part of this month's delineation, your horoscope for Virgo, sun, moon, and rising in the month of March 2026 is a big deal. Good news is we have some beautiful protective flow from Lord Jupiter and some luck coming through the sky as well. I'm excited to talk about your forecast today as we move through week by week the astrology of 2026 and the very merry month of March. Now, if you're new to my channel, my name is Lori Lothian, so very welcome much to you. I can barely speak an English sentence today because I'm on day 2 of a cold that I caught on the airplane on the way back from Mexico. So please bear with me as I try to speak the English language the best I can. And one thing I want you to be aware of about this month ahead is that it is an astrological overview that's general bell curve astrology. Because when we're talking about eclipses, we're talking about fated and destined life changes. And this totality, this blood moon eclipse is intense. However, that said, if you're listening for your sun sign, you're listening to matters connected to career and purpose, Virgo suns, but often also see the sun as your core essential self, the true you in the simulation. Whereas the ascendant is the character you play, the role you play in the movie of life. And it's very circumstantially sensitive to change, particularly eclipses. And the moon sign is how you feel and think about your life in reality, in the structure, but the moon represents nest and home. So I'm always saying to people, you'll know that the moon represents one's safety and home and nest because lots of times when you have an eclipse to your moon, you'll have an eclipse to your home and you change your home. Okay, so it's pretty predictable. Also, your moon is your mom and your sun is your dad. So Virgo sun and moon, you're having eclipses relative to a parent as well. So we'll be bringing more detail into the story as we go through this half an hour or so, 35 minutes or so together. I'll be showing you the chart as we go through the astrology of the month week by week. This is tropical zodiac, not sidereal. Don't forget to like and subscribe and hit the notification bell. Don't forget that I have my 2026 all signs bundles or individual signs only, 2.5+ hour videos plus a PDF guidebook still on sale. This allows you to time your best year of 2026 for your sign. It's the next best thing to a reading with me, which I'm not doing anymore. I'm busy writing some books and I don't have time to do everything. I may go back to readings in 2027. We'll see. But just know that my guidance in my All Signs bundle is pretty precise and hopefully makes sense for you. If you don't have a reading with me, you can at least use that content. And I'm teaching my Divine Timing Masterclass, more advanced astrology program, probably mid-April to mid-May. Waitlist below for those intermediate astrology courses that you might be ready for. Don't sign up if you're brand new. All right, so let's get going. It's been a real tough one to make these videos for you guys. I'm not complaining. I'm just sharing with you that I'm exhausted, okay? Because I have a head cold. So be kind when I make a mistake and correct myself. Most of you are quite kind, but there are always people out there. All right, so this is your sky. This is the Virgo symbol. This is the ascendant, but you could just pretend your moon or sun is here. That's how we do whole sign astrology connected to sun, moon, and rising. And we would pretend your sun is here if we're talking about Virgo sun. Now, before the eclipse of March the 3rd, the most important first thing that happens in the first week of March is the ingress or movement of Mars into the sign of Pisces. This energy is important. It happens every 2 years, but it hasn't happened this way for decades. Mars will rise into the visible sky in the middle of March in your marriage house. Where Mars is rising, things rise, just like rise up, right? Lift up, move upwards in a positive way. Most often, This is going to indicate success in long-term relationship and marriage. Before the visible rise of Mars, March 17th, you might notice, because he's here till April 9th, that things can be kind of uncertain in a long-term relationship, but 9 out of 10 of you will find that this is the beginning of a 2-year window of success in your long-term committed love. And if the person you're with isn't the right person for you, you will part ways. And you'll see evidence for that between probably March 2nd and April 9th. That said, understanding that Mars will be here for all of March into the first week of April or so is important. With Venus also co-present and exalted, March 2nd to March 6th is an exceptional time in a long-term committed love relationship. And it can really lead to a stronger fortification or deeper connection between you and a significant other, because this is the cosmic lovers archetype. And this is also about your partner. Now, your long-term relationship partner might be going through a very important time. They may be moving their home. They may be making some significant changes in their career. They may be going through a time in which they're having a bit more luck than they usually do, a bit more financial gain. Things could be going on in the life of your significant other that are powerful and positive. Changes for them as well, all the way through March to about the 9th of April. The next thing we need to pay attention to is that you're having an eclipse. This is going to happen on March 3rd in the Western time zone of where I live. Adjust for your time zone. I'll be doing a whole video on this eclipse. It's too big a deal not to do one, so you might want to subscribe. I'll have the saving symbol and the asteroids involved. But for now, the eclipse will happen on March 3rd. It will occur at 13 degrees of the sign of Virgo. Is your moon or your sun or your rising sign anywhere between 10 and 16 degrees of Virgo? This is going to impact you a bit more intensely than all the other Virgo placements, but all Virgos feel it nonetheless. To have a context for this, you had eclipses here in the Virgo part of your sky in March of 25, September of 25, and this is the last one. This takes you back to the similar eclipse cycle that was unfolding 2006 fall to the spring of 2008. Therefore, you can go back and look at your life then and say, are there any similarities? And there are other times in the past I'm not going to cover now. That's why you want to subscribe and get a deeper dive when I put that video out in early March or late February. In my humble opinion, this is a letting go, surrendering, and releasing of something that no longer serves you, because it is a South Node releasing eclipse. Something needs to be undone, released. I flushed down the old cosmic toilet. You don't need it anymore. There's a lot of letting go, and Mercury, the Lord of the eclipse, is in the relationship house. Your clients, your customers, your audience, your business partners, and your significant long-term love. Now, it doesn't mean you have to let go of the relationship, but you might have to let go of a way that the relationship has played out. A dynamic within the relationship is asking to be surrendered or released. For a very, very few of you, the Lord of the first house, your Lord, Mercury, instability in the 7th house can mean trouble in the life of your significant other. And they are needing to let go of something in their life. It's their story. You're witnessing it. You're saying, oh my God, but you're a part of it because you're together. What could your person be letting go of? A job, a career path, a home, something significant. Because the South Node represents past lives, natural talents and gifts from past lives, because it represents a deep mystical part of your reality where you can surrender, lean into God, let go, let God, become more spiritually awake. This can open up enlightenment-y energies for those of you who are ready for a spiritual awakening. And you might open up to new levels of spiritual clarity and peace because of this eclipse. With Mars across the way from this eclipse, it's not what you add to your life, it's what you let go and cut away from your life. Excuse me, I have a cold. That includes things you put in your nose and your mouth because of where Venus is sitting. So we're going to say addictions, substance abuse, misuse disorders, and habits and patterns that are bad for you. This is one of those purifying eclipses that lets go of the Haagen-Dazs, ice cream, bread, wine, weed, music, whatever substances you ingest through the nose and mouth you shouldn't be doing. You're going to be able to clear that out of your life once and for all, not just on the day of the eclipse. All eclipses, especially lunar, will unfold over time. This eclipse was already playing out about a month before the eclipse, and it's most intense in the 90 days after. So it's good for purification and health habit changes and improving your relationship to escapist and addictive substances. In fact, releasing them from your life. All right, so we're going to do one more thing about the eclipse, and then we're going to move on. We're going to talk about Jupiter. Jupiter here is wonderful. He's looking at this eclipse, kind of angling from it both directions in a wedge. What Jupiter says in a flowing positive way is that the surrender and release can lead to greater prosperity and abundance in your earnings and career success stories, as well as it can lead to new groups of friends that are better, bountiful, and more joyful and happy, and people you want to hang with. And it could also lead to some openings in your life that can connect to an elder sibling and positive developments between you and the sibling, one older than you. So those are stories I'm seeing here. If your mother, your moon is near, let's just make it simple, 12 degrees. In fact, I'm so tired with this cold. I think I said the wrong degrees before. The eclipse is at 12 degrees, almost 13. Yeah, so 10 to 16 degrees. So 10 to 16 degrees is your moon. That's your mother. And if 10 to 16 degrees of Virgo is your sun, that's your dad. So mother figures, father figures. It could be like I don't care if your auntie or grandmother, whoever, father, mother figures, solar figures, sun, lunar figures, mother, eclipses, major changes in the life of those people, mom and dad, or mother and father like figures. If this eclipse is occurring close to the sun or moon. And unfortunately, with the South Node, maybe some health challenges in their life as well. Okay, but that requires someone looking at your chart astrologically for clarification, a professional. And we're going to move on to the next story. Holy man, guys, getting through 12 videos in 2 or 3 days with a really bad cold is something I haven't done since I started my channel, but the show must go on. Now let's keep going past the first week, past the eclipse of March the 3rd. And talk about March the 3rd, 4th, and 5th, where Venus will sextile Uranus for a happy surprise. Venus is exalted, and this is her kingdom of Taurus. Venus is going to give a happy surprise connected to long-term love relationships, most certainly. A wedding proposal, a getaway to a foreign land, exciting, unexpected trip, connected to a significant other, a win in a legal court case and a contractual settlement that favors you financially, a powerful, exciting development with an offer for your favorite university or college, a significant development in the life of a partner that's surprising but positive, an unexpected news story in the life of you or your partner that you're going to be a grandparent. That's some of the stories that could occur on the energy of 3rd, 4th, and 5th of March, as Venus is going to be in this sextile relationship to Uranus. You could even feel it on the 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th of the month. Surprise! On the 4th and the 5th, Jupiter and the sun come into a beautiful triangle called a grand trine. I mean, just a trine. And it's golden luck and beautiful opportunity most often. And so the sun and Jupiter begin to trine on March the 3rd. They're pretty exact by the time we get to the 5th. Because Jupiter is retrograde in the sky in the degrees he was at when we are looking at August of last year, there may be opportunities that emerged in August of last year that didn't fully settle out as something you could harness. So what kind of things may have been going on last August to do with opportunity and luck connected to a sibling one older, connected to career gains, allies and benefactors, and friendship circles. Now, career gains could be raises, promotions, awards, rewards, celebrity, more money. The greater gains of your career are the 11th, and even a goal or a dream or a hope or a wish, a desire you want to fulfill. Jupiter wants to fairy godfather it out. It sort of was on your agenda last August, perhaps July, August, mostly August. And here we have the opening. Yes, let's make this a thing, because Jupiter is going to be flowing with that sun. Now, it could be a golden opportunity connected to your marriage partnership, long-term love, but how you also can get some collateral benefits connected to the Leo sky here. And that could indicate some also golden opportunities for distant shore foreign land travel connected to friends, right? Long-term friends, short-term friends, social networking friends. And lastly, with Jupiter still retrograde and not going direct until March 11th, a golden opportunity emerging here can still be a bit of a delay for it to fully unfold. While the opportunity may show up, I think you'll get better traction on it after March 11th, though the opportunity is visible and sort of pointing at something around March the 4th, 5th of the month and 6th. Now I need to catch some breath because I can't breathe through my nose because I have a head cold from hell. And we're moving on to the next story. On March the 7th, we'll see Mercury in the heart of the sun, which is called a cazimi. And here it's going to happen right over here. Sun's catching up. Mars is retrograding. They're going to hit the 7th, the 16th degree, and they'll be connected by 0 degrees. And this is a day of announcements, news, or information coming from your 7th house. So, and it should be positive for the trine to Jupiter. This can be an announcement or a proposition from a customer, a client, a business partner, or a significant long-term love relationship partner. It can be a discussion that comes out of the sort of the blue, like the day of the cazimi, March the 7th. It can involve things to do with moving in together, getting married, wedding proposals, marriage arrangements. It might also have to do with an agreement or a contract connected to your work and a proposal from your work environment. Also, if there's anything to do with arrangements or agreements you want to make with a sibling, one older, or a friend, that's the day of conversation or news or information that you want to really pay attention to. Jupiter is flowing from exaltation. So whatever this day of exciting news, blessed news, or information is, it's going to be powerful. It's going to be positive and it'll feel like a good thing. In my view, you're going to like the way it feels. Take my free Mercury webinar, cazimi webinar that I'll be teaching. We'll do a meditation, learn about the asteroids, learn how to harness it, the magical 6-hour window around it. So that sign up link is in my description box below. Venus on the same day, March 7th, that Mercury goes into the sun's heart, will have ingressed here on the 6th, actually. So the 6th and 7th, Venus will ingress into Aries, but also conjunct Neptune. Be careful around confusion or uncertainty, even like being swindled financially. This is not a good day. If people have phishing or swindling or, ways to swindle you of money, Venus rules your money and earnings, and there's a confusion delusion aspect here. Be careful around financial matters on the 6th and 7th and 8th of March, because you may not be getting the whole picture and you might be deluded about something. So just a little warning, but Venus here is also a money goddess and she will be hooking up with Saturn. We'll get to that shortly, but it's just that first March 6th and 7th, be careful about some uncertainty and confusion around your money and your earnings. You're not seeing the whole picture and you might make a financial misjudgment at this time. As we move into the next week, the 8th to the 14th, before we get there, Venus is going to be in your 8th house till the end of the month, March 30th. So from March 6th to March 30th, you want to be a little more careful regarding things to do with your money, because Venus, a money goddess, is in a detriment here in exile, and you could end up with some financial conundrums. Be cautious. However, Venus here has other things she can do. One of them is she could have a secret love affair with someone 7 years older or younger. For those of you who are into that, fine, but I'm just giving you a heads up. Venus is also connected in your chart to 9th house matters, which are legal and court cases, and she's not in good shape here. And if you're in a legal court settlement matter and it involves money, you might be also not in good shape. And we have too much detriment, right? Chironic wound, Saturn fallen, Venus exiled, Neptune confusion. So until April the 9th, do not make major money decisions of any kind if you can help it. Now, if you are naturally psychic or occult mysteries, tarot, numerology, if those things are part of your wheelhouse and they really appeal to you, then learning and studying or developing those parts of your life during this Venus transit, because you are joyfully engaged and you really find it a part of your dharma or life path, then you could start learning, studying, diving in deeper with those narratives. Okay. Watch out for pregnancy. Venus is with Saturn, the ruler of your fertility house. And if you are to conceive a child by mistake, you're bringing back a former passed away relative. So it's very watch out for unexpected pregnancy is what I'm trying to say, especially when Venus is here. Let her get the heck out of there. By April 9th, you're less likely to conceive a child without a planned agenda. Alrighty, now, Venus will conjunct, we're doing March the 8th to the 14th. Venus will conjunct Saturn. This is love is hard, money is hard. You might feel constricted on your finances, but it's not your earnings. It's like your investments in the markets, your banks, your tax situations. A lot of people are doing taxes in March. You're just like, oh God, I've got to file my taxes. It feels hard, right? So right here, March the 8th, 9th, Venus is going to cross through Saturn. And, she's not in good shape. He's not in good shape. And there's some confusion here. So tax liabilities, tax stress, banking, loans, mortgages, money, shared monies with a spouse, and some confusion or uncertainty or hardship there as well. I have a girlfriend who's a Virgo rising, trying to figure out a prenup agreement or something like that. It could be more intensity around, feeling like this is a burden, this kind of money sorting with a significant other. Yeah, that vibe, right? So just let it pass. It's a short-lived frustration, right? About love or money stuff. Most likely money on March the 8th. By March the 10th, you don't feel it so much anymore. Whew. On March the 8th and 9th, we have a trine between Mercury and Jupiter, just like we had with the sun on March 4th and 5th. So March 8th and 9th now, it's Mercury, good news, good news, good news. But because Mercury and Jupiter are retrograde, it's old past situations now come forward in good, positive news ways. So, for example, if you've been talking about getting married or moving in or buying a house or something, or consolidating something in a significant marriage type relationship, and you had those conversations in the past, particularly maybe even last summer, especially in August, now, because this trine with Mercury retrograde and Jupiter is activated, this is coming back for reignition, rediscussion, reconversation. But also it could just be good news about a friend, an elder sibling, good news about one above you, good news or information for your long-term marriage partner in particular, good news for your marriage partner regarding fertility, entrepreneurship, and good money fortune and good fortune in general. So your significant other, if you have one, could have some good news. Good news around fertility for your significant other. Okay. Good news for your significant other regarding a sibling too younger than them. I'm giving you lots of options for the good news transit that is going to happen around March 8th and 9th, but connected to things probably connected to last August. Now, on March the 9th and 10th, Venus sextiles Pluto. This is a money energy in your chart. It could be a wealth yoga. If there's money coming through, it allows you to pay off or pay down a debt, more than likely, because of the sextile, meaning it's a positive energy between Venus and Pluto on the 8th and 9th. And yet, at the same time, while it is positive and it can involve debt repayment or paying off of a debt, and that's one good way to look at it, it could also mean there may be some disclosure of secrets. And if there are, it could be secrets to do with work, bosses, a situation of a secret connected to a marriage partnership, those sorts of things. You could find yourself coming into a little financial uplift connected to work and a payoff, like severance package, sign-on bonuses, that kind of thing. Like here's a chunk of money connected to your employment and work scene, a performance check, for good performance. Okay. I need to breathe. On March the 11th, Jupiter goes into direct motion through to the end of June in the house of his joy. This is going to bring you a great deal of prosperity and success connected to your career in particular. For those of you who have one, they can look like more raises, promotions. If you're looking for a job, a better job. This also brings you luck from friends in high places. We call those allies, patrons, and benefactors who want to help you. This also indicates good things happening in your relationship to a sibling one older or in the life of a sibling one older, including the birth of children and or pregnancy. This is also really good for expanding a new group of friends, a social circle that may not be you may change or increase your social networks in positive ways connected to destined and fated new relationships in friendships. Then this begins to open up March 11th to June the 30th. Excuse me. Be kind, guys. You try doing this with a head cold from hell. Windfalls and pennies from heaven is the meaning of one of the meanings of the 11th house, as well as long range goals and dreams. So after March 11th, you begin to see the big picture to plot your world domination, forward motion, but also you could come into some windfall, exalted Jupiter, house of windfalls, ruled by Saturn. I'm ruled by the moon, which is part of the eclipses. And technically, the house of good fortune is down here, ruled by Saturn in the house of chunky money. Some of you could come into some money. Now, this is where it can be many different ways. It could be money from an inheritance, a spousal separation agreement, the sale of a property. But this kind of feeling like you won the lottery, you may not have, but you feel like you did, can come off of Jupiter direct, March 11th to June the 30th. Okay. So we are now moving on to March 14th to the 20th. And on March the 15th, Mercury will conjunct Mars. Now, Mercury is information and Mars is difficulty. Hard conversations, angry conversations, difficult words can be spoken. This will happen in your long-term love house. But with the flow from Lord Jupiter to this event, it takes on a different story, where normally I'd be saying, watch that you don't have a blowout fight with a business partner, a client, or your significant other. When I look at this positive energy from Jupiter, who's now in direct motion, it's more like a difficult conversation connected to audience, client, marketplace, business, and long-term love partners will yield prosperous and positive life blessings as you and a significant other plot a long-term plan forward together, for example, or difficult conversations with your partner about the keeping or not keeping of a pregnancy. Or there could be a termination of a contract for a work and career situation. But the good news is that it opens up doors for greater success and greater prosperity in your career. Or you might be making major life decisions here around March 14th, 15th with and connected to a legal contract, agreement, or a significant long-term relationship partner. But because Mercury is information and conversations and he's retrograde, it's not your first type of conversation about this topic. Like if it's a new job or career direction, you've had this conversation with your employers before, or if it has something to do with your relationship, there's conversations you've had before. Mars can be a determining, pivotal, decisive moment to move in a certain direction, and conversations in long-term love that you're going to have, well, they may be passionate, engaged, feisty, or difficult. If you have those conversations March 14th, 15th, and 16th, Mars is rising in the visible sky on the 17th in your long-term legal, business, and love house, and you may find that this is going to allow for things to rise into a positive direction in those areas of other people and you in your life. So look for dialogue as a primary thing that may be ongoing. Your partner may have some really exciting news. It doesn't have to be difficult. Exciting news, positive and blessed, could be with art, creativity, entrepreneurship, and good fortune in the life of a significant other, coming through as news and information March 14th to the 20th. March 17th to the 19th, the sun will sextile Uranus. This is the same kind of lucky surprise that we felt from Venus back on March 3rd to 5th. Now we're feeling it here. We're going to say, okay, March 17th and 19th, what could the sun illuminate? And what could also be like kind of a lightning strike energy? This is a lucky house, one of the lucky houses. And this is the house of your long-term committed love. What is being illuminated here? Something good is trying to happen. An unexpected travel opportunity abroad, an unexpected breakthrough in your long-term relationship sector, an unexpected illumination of a direction in life for you professionally, an unexpected breakthrough connected to Leo, self-undoing, bad habits, patterns, and addictions. And the ninth house can be like the guidance counselor, the advisor, the therapist, the priest, someone giving you illuminating, shocking, surprising, lightning strikes of clarity. Yeah, that's the vibe. That's the vibe. In the life of your significant other, there may be some exciting developments regarding travel, writing, communicating, teaching or learning. In the life of another person significant, like a long-term love partner. They may have an international opportunity, and they might be really excited by that as well. On March the 18th, we have a moon in Pisces. It's new. It's at 28 degrees. It's going to create a mini grand trine. We're going to like the vibe. Let's go ahead to the 18th for the Pisces moon. Now, it's building up here. The moon will be at 28 degrees. There it is. And it's brand new and fresh. It's not any old new moon. It's a new moon with a node of destiny pointing you towards a greater opening, expansion, and growth of a long-term love relationship. Listen in, Virgo. Listen in. Starting in 2023 March, Saturn entered your seventh house and said, is this relationship roadworthy? Is this car going to go the distance? Is this house worth buying? It's a metaphor, because is there a cracked foundation? You've been tested already. If you made it through the test, because Saturn left your Pisces sky for good already as we begin March. He left in February 14th. Now you're down for the long game. Now you're going to dive into that relationship and damn it, make it work one way or the other. Or maybe it's not going to work because the lessons told you it's time to separate. But whichever way, you should know the lay of the land by now. And I bring that up because the North Node says, grow a bigger pot for the root-bound relationship to grow. This is where there's going to be eclipses coming, one last eclipse in the fall. And you've had two already. So if your relationship is needing to grow, it grows in form. It grows into moving in together, buying a house together, getting married, having a baby, whatever. There's going to be a new form for the relationship. So I bring it up to you because the new moon is a fresh start and a new beginning. The first time since, this kind of new moon, since Saturn is not here, heavy weighting this part of your sky, it's going to feel much more light and breezy. And the new moon is flowing to the goddess of commitment. This is a marriage contract goddess. Commitment to romance, becoming legally wed. Commitment to more fun, joy, play, and pleasure in the relationship. Commitment to having a child together. This is also connected to Uranus in the ninth house, so childbirth. So there is energy here that could open up doors for the planning of or the unexpected developments of pregnancy in the life of you and a partner. Or for some of you who already have a partner, this could look like the beginning of grandchildren getting ready to pop into the story over the next 6 months. All new moons take 6 months to unfold. You might be surprised about having a grandchild. If you and your partner want to do something to do with weddings, which this could bring into the story, you're looking at the idea is a fun, joy, play, and pleasure. You're not looking at, a boring wedding. You're going to go off and you're going to do your wedding at the carnival or the fair or, I don't know, like something joyful, like an escape room or something playful and fun. If you're not thinking about marriage, you don't have a partner, then you could get a really important contract, legally agreements regarding your art, your muse, your inspiration, your creative projects, and a book publishing deal, an international contract. You can start your own entrepreneurial business with a business partner and have international success off of the sky new moon in the seventh house. And any of you who want to, with Mars here, who's good for entrepreneurship and self-starter, you could start an entrepreneurial business with your marriage partner or with somebody else and have it look like in the 6 months that follows this moon, that's a successful direction. Now, they're on the 18th. Venus will square. It's okay. Lucky opportunities require action and decisions or they fade away. So if you don't want to take an action on 18th, 19th, 20th, 17th, 18th, 19th, when Venus and Jupiter are square, then the opportunity may not emerge. You have to strike when the iron is hot. Venus in the chunky money squares Jupiter in the windfalls. Okay. Something feels like a financial windfall possibility. Jupiter rules legacy wealth from family of origin. Unfortunately, that could also look like with the sun in the setting place with Mars, there may be money that wants to come through a eldering parent or grandparent, maybe a father figure, maybe not. It could be, may not be. There's a lot to do with father figures in here, based on Mercury, Sun, Mars in the setting place. And so if there is a father figure, an eldering father figure getting ready to pass, there may be some major good opportunities for you to feel like you have a windfall as legacy wealth or family of origin money is going to transfer your way, but you need to make and do something with it. Although the square could just indicate through a difficult circumstance, prosperity will emerge. Okay. So there's that as well. But it's a lucky day. And finally, moving on to the end of the month. March 21st to the 30th, 31st, Jupiter, start with Jupiter, trines Jupiter. Mars trines Jupiter for good, prosperous action and decisions. This is a little bit like the feeling with Jupiter lighting up your sky with the sun on March 5th. And then later on, Mercury trine Jupiter on March 8th, 9th. And here's the last lucky strike. This is everything you want because Jupiter's now direct and visible. Mars is now visible the day before and direct a couple days before. So on the 21st, we have a very gorgeous golden sky for what looks like opportunity and action and decisions. So now, because your partnership house is involved, a business or love partner may have some very prosperous, fortunate action and decision opportunities emerging in their life. It could be especially true if your partner in life is entrepreneurial, artistic, or creative. And it could lead to some worldly success for them with a North Node conjunct Mercury or worldly and commercial success. If it's about you, then you are going to have something happen that could lead to a sense of a windfall because of decisions and actions you need or are taking. This could also involve some luck involving siblings or good news involving siblings, especially a sibling one younger than you. And this could also look like a chunk of money landing on your head. I don't know what it is. I really don't. But it could look like there's a sky action that says, here's some money. Do you want it? And you can say yes or no. Of course, you'll say yes under the sky for sure. And Mercury on the North Node at the same time. Some of this money could come because of a career advancement and a major promotion or raise for you. Again, we're seeing this luck energy on the 21st, but you'll feel it a couple of days before and after the 21st of January. On the 21st to the end of the month, Saturn ends up in a sextile to Pluto, which is good for stabilizing your finances, taxes, investment monies, loans, mortgages, and debts, and stabilizing those things. Okay. Making a new agreement, maybe refinancing, maybe lowering your interest rate or something like that. The last 10 days of the month. The sun will illuminate what confused you about the finances as the sun enters into Aries for 1 month, starting on the 20th of March, and lights up your sector of, banking, finances, mortgages, loans. Good for your psychic ability, but really good for your money. and opens up illumination, dispels the fog that Neptune made. You now have financial clarity moving forward. This stellium could invite in inheritances, spousal separation agreement monies, and more. But all said and done, if you were confused, the sun shines light here so you can see what's really going on regarding those monies. This could be like in a divorce, disclosures where you see how much your partner really has in the bank accounts, and the lawyers are telling you what's going on. It's quite often Mars here can be about the end of a relationship and separation. And then this could be the finances in the middle of it all. It doesn't always look like that. I'm not saying it is. This could be you're doing fine with your partner, but you're working on mutual financial sorting. When the sun hits Saturn, this could look like a authority figure connected to money. That be a financial advisor, an accountant, a tax specialist, and you're getting some guidance around money, or a lawyer if you need that. Money situations and shared resources and unearned income, and you're getting a kind of a advisory wisdom from Saturn and Sun together. The Sun's exalted here, so you probably can trust whatever information you're getting that helps you organize your money situation better, basically. Okay. Especially if it's money and partners, money and business partners, money and love partners. That's where you really have that new expert authority and guidance giving you a hand. All right. I swear I must have gone for 45 minutes for you guys because I'm in slow-mo with my cold. Like, subscribe, check out my Patreon community below. Come learn classes there with me. It's very affordable. I have up to 3 or 4 meetings a month on Zoom. Get to know me and a small group of people. Check it out. Check out things to do with my Pluto Chronicles, where I write weekly forecast articles about the world and individual signs. You can get your basic free subscription there. And you get an article a week from me every weekend in your inbox. And if you're at all interested in my members community here, I do live streams. I'm behind because of travel and sickness, but we have live streams for mini readings to teach you how to look at your chart. But I do mini readings. We have other stuff on the members only content you won't find anywhere else. And I'm a little more unplugged there as well. Thanks, guys. Take care. I'll see you in the next video. Like, subscribe. Thank you very, very much.